Hey, my name's Renee Border. I'm pretty new here to making these little videos, but I wrote a commentary on the book of James, and I thought instead of getting it published, I would just break it down into verse by verse segments and share it with you here. So if you don't know anything about the book of James in the Bible, he was the half-brother of Jesus. So no doubt he was jealous of the attention that Jesus received from his parents, especially his mother, and then the masses. Jesus had 4 half-brothers and at least 2 half-sisters that we are made aware of. Jesus obviously was conceived in innocence by the power of the Holy Spirit, but Mary's other children were most likely fathered by Joseph. So Matthew 13:55 gives us a small glimpse of the curiosity of the townspeople. They say about Jesus, "Is not this the carpenter's son? Is not his mother called Mary? Are not his sisters or his brothers James and Joseph, Simon and Judas?" So obviously James grew up under the shadow of this perfection. So imagine feeling the pressure of being the younger sibling. Can you imagine your mom say, "Why can't you be more like your brother?" So John 7:5 actually talks about the animosity of his family members. It says that for not even his brothers believed him. So Jesus answered this reluctancy, saying, "A prophet is not without honor except in his hometown and in his own household." That's in Matthew 13:57, Mark 6:4, and Luke 4:24. It was only in Nazareth that Jesus was able to do a few healing miracles because of their unbelief. And familiarity breeds contempt, and Jesus recognized this as he was beginning his ministry. It wasn't until Jesus' resurrection that at least 2 of his brothers, James and Judas, or Jude, who wrote the other book, became the foundational part of the early Christian church. So this is where we meet James, the half-brother of Jesus, growing up alongside the creator of the universe in human form. So James may have felt often overlooked by Jesus, especially as his reputation grew. It wasn't until they began to grasp the full extent of his ministry that they really appreciate him. And this is where James comes into the picture. So in these next several videos, I'm going to continue to discuss the book of James, just verse by verse, and a little bit of history about James. I'll see you soon.